All right, so I wanted to do a quick update. I actually set this up yesterday. I put everything in and put my worms in, and my worst case scenario happened. About 2 hours later, I came down because I wanted to put some food in it. And when I did, and I opened this up, I mean, all around in here, I mean, hundreds of worms. I mean, it almost looked like death happened in here. Everything was just red and freaked me out, number one. And two, I'm like, how do I stop and avoid this? And honestly, I wasn't sure the answer, but I do have hopefully a tip that might help. The first thing I did is I had some leaves outside, some dead leaves from last year. I had just recently raked them up, and I left some in a bag because I thought maybe I'd mulch it or something. And what I did was I kind of took them and I laid them on top here. They were slightly damp, and so I just covered the top and put them down. And what's interesting is that I came home from work today, and then when I opened this up, I was kind of expecting to see the worst, and when I opened it up, I had no worms on the side. And as I started to pick up some of the leaves, I noticed that the worms had already starting to eat the leaves. Some of the worms were hanging in the leaves, some of the worms were chilling underneath the leaves, and I figured out that they liked the moistness. I think they liked something covering them. One of the other things, when I spoke to Uncle Jim's, I had told them the same thing. I told them what I did, and they said that might work. I had some bubble wrap on top of here yesterday, and I switched that out because one of the things that I've been told is that they like things that are moist. So this here is just paper you might wrap like maybe a picture frame or some glass in if you're shipping. And what I did is I just ran under water and I just made it wet, so it's kind of floppy. And I laid that down on top of here to kind of create like a moist barrier. It's not too wet, as you can see under here, but it kind of creates a moist barrier. So hopefully that helps. I also had this light that I kept on here, obviously with the top on and everything. I don't think it shines through, but I did leave this on overnight, just shining on the bag. So I don't know if if they can see the light through the bag, or if that made a difference, or if it came through maybe the zipper at all. But needless to say, just a quick tip. I don't know if that might help, but if you're finding that you're setting up a new bag and your worms are climbing up the top, either try to get some of this paper, even like a thin cardboard, and wet it and get it floppy and just cover the top. But I noticed that the leaves worked. The leaves were, like I said, were slightly damp. Some were dry, some were slightly damp. And I just covered the top of the whole bed. And like I said, I came home and not one worm was on the side. So hopefully that helps someone, because it freaked me out. And I think that might be a solution, just some kind of damp, wet covering to try to help keep them down. I mean, it could just be coincidence as well, but my understanding is most people say that it lasts 3, 4, 5 days and then they settle in. These guys seem to have settled in, and I did check them, and they are moving, and they're eating some of the food, and they're eating some of the leaves as well.